Well, good day all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening of Thursday, the 30th of March, 2023. And the time right now, just getting on to 6 p.m. Central Time. Well, after two failed impeachment attempts, a district attorney out of Manhattan tries a novel case in front of a grand jury to get an indictment on President Trump, and lo and behold, he got it. Well, what's this going to do? Well, I'm imagining we're soon going to see a picture of a president, an ex-president in handcuffs, a mugshot. Ideally, somebody will be wise enough, I hope, to get a picture of him sitting in a cell. He shouldn't be treated any different than anybody else. And Trump is going to use this like you've never seen media used before. Can you imagine if this case goes to trial, gets there to the point where it's either thrown out by a judge, it's possible, Trump wins the day, it's possible, or Trump loses the day. Do you think he's going to jail? I don't think he's going to jail, but I think he'd be fined. If he wins, can you imagine what this does for another Trump campaign? If I'm in the White House, I'm actually pulling my hair out of my head. I'm going, now what do we have? You know what's going to happen in terms of his supporters. They're going to, I think, flood his war chest. If I'm Ron DeSantis, this is bad news, not good news for him. This is bad news for all the others because he's the one, Trump, going to get the press every single day. This was the catalyst, okay? I think it was a dumb move by the Democrats, but they've been after him since 2016. They got him, all right? I didn't say he's guilty. I said they got him. They got an indictment against him. And now where does it go and what are the charges? We don't know. That'll occupy your whole weekend. What you have tomorrow coming at you is important, though. Let's get to where I wanted to be, right here. There we are. We're going to get the Fed's favorite numbers, the core PCEs and all these other numbers on personal income, spending, and the like. I expect that we're going to see more inflation. I think that the numbers as they come out, and this is one of that set, and we'll get a bunch of them early in the month in April, will still say that the Fed should go for another interest rate hike. It's my own guess. And they will. That's my guess on it, too, that they will do that if the data doesn't wobble. Get wobbling data. Get employment all of a sudden spiking higher. That could happen, but you didn't get that today on unemployment claims. They went up 7,000. That's nothing. They're still under 200,000. 1 week they're up 3,000, 4,000, 7,000 this week. The week after they're down a little bit. You don't have any trend and they're not climbing. And anyone will tell you that studies these numbers, those are exceptionally what? Low numbers. So you got to put it all together to try to figure out where you're going to go with all this. So where am I going to go with it? Well, it reminds me of a jail, right? No, that isn't by any stretch that. That's where we're at. Now, I'm going to do a special report this weekend, my video reports. I love doing videos over writing any day of the week. You can do so much more, so many charts. I'm doing it on the dollar. So I'm giving all the weekly charts. I'm going to be bringing in the swing lines. I hope to bring in some price count studies as well and give you the whole thing as to what I'm seeing. I already know where my allegiance lies in the dollar, bullish or bearish, but I'll make the case for you. Look for that over the weekend and notice of it. It will be on the website. I'll record it sometime tomorrow after I get my haircut. I have a haircut appointment. I got an estimate today, and tomorrow I'll get the haircut. Got it? All right. So let's go to the chart action. You know, the market came back over the 18-week average, cleared that high so far. This is a close-only chart. The market is up 2%. And the key is, are we going to be able to stay over that number? I think it was 40.49 we said. So it's over it nicely. And I don't see anything tomorrow yet that can break the market back under it. But you never know. These reports come out and different things happen. When we take a look at the chart action here, you certainly can't say it's bearish, it's bullish. You've been making one after the other. Higher lows, right? You paused and you made lower highs and you went right back 2 days ago, made a higher high, put everything back in, and away you're going. So the swing line is bullish. You're over the key moving averages. I thought the market would have problems, and I said this to you as it approached, and I'll come back to it as we were talking here. I want to get right to where I was saying. This is good. I thought that you'd have on the way down support problems at the 100, 200, and the 18-day average. And on the way up, those same averages would give the market heartache. And it did. You stayed there a couple of days on the way down, a couple of days on the way up. You see it just like that. Then, and this was the 28th. So just yesterday, if you take out that high, game comes alive again. It's exactly what happened. And today you tried to follow through a bit on it. Where might the market be headed? It hit it, and I told my subscribers today, remember, you're getting the free version. I told my subscribers, I think the pros are coming out of the market right there. When you hit the Bollinger Band for the first time, if you're taking my enhanced Bollinger Band course, you learn the meaning of that because you tie it with slow stochastics. I'm not going to tell you why. You take the course. It's on the website under education, iraepstein.com. When you take a look at the NASDAQ, lower and low, higher high. Now, are we going to embed? Now, first, you've come off this low by 20%. So first thing in the press this morning from everybody, we are back in a bull market. And the theory is that if you're 20% off the low, you're back in a bull market. And you see that. Why is this market so strong? It is so strong because the market is now believing that whether the Fed goes up a quarter point in May or not, we're at the end of a cycle. I realize Susan Collins today came out and she thinks 3 more rate hikes, but most of the Fed members are saying, if you're reading between it, let's see the data, but we're getting to the point where maybe a lag. Now think of the banking situation and understand part of why that is and why these markets are rallying. The markets are fearful that the Fed, or they believe that the Fed, I don't know which word is right, will have its hands tied for a bit, and it's better off seeing things rather than seeing more banks go down. We know there's serious problems in commercial real estate. In New York, more buildings just came on the market, and I think they said 16% of the available building space is vacant now in New York. And the problem is that the B and C buildings, as we rate them, they're having trouble getting tenants at all. It's only when you redo a building, throw hundreds of millions of dollars into some of these to attract tenants and get them. The mayor's trying to get people to go back to the office. People don't want to do that right now. I had a friend that just had COVID again. So you cannot say that COVID isn't there. I went for a physical this afternoon. And I go in, I had to wear the mask, the whole thing, as soon as, the doctors, they're making you do that. So it hasn't gone away, and that's a hard argument for an employer to make when you go in to a hospital for a regular checkup. There's nothing wrong with me. The barber thought there is. He thinks, he gave me the estimate, and I'm going to go ahead and get the haircut. But that's what happens, all right? And people don't want to do that. They don't want to work yet, and that's creating the problem. So the spaces that are there are being, downsized. And what about the sublease space? Do you have any idea how much is on the market for that at very favorable deals? Because the landlord that has it and is not using it, I'd rather lose half than 100%, right? So those are the deals going on. When we look at the Dow, same thing. You're in the zone. I think that the Bollinger Band will be a problem. You're not in betting. You're getting overbought. The Russell went to the 18-day average, stalling out. That's what I said too. Now, in the bond market, lower highs, lower lows. For those of you that are VIX traders, you definitely want to join me in the morning. I cover the VIX in the morning. I know a lot of you like to cover that. There's a setup there that's very interesting, but you got to be with me in the mornings. Again, just go to our website, iraepstein.com, and just head over to the research area. I think you'll like what you see there. The battleground's crystal clear. We had a market that still has upside biases. It's been over the 18-day average of closes. Then we had sell signals on the swing lines develop. So it's a what do we have? We have a bullish bias, so we have a bull market that had a bear break in it. Got it? You went to the 18-day average and you're sitting. There'll probably be some resolution tomorrow when everybody sees these favorite Fed numbers. That's my instinct on it. Same thing in the 5-year note. You came right back there, and if you go to the 10, the 5, the 30, you'll see it's pretty much there. In the dollar index, lower highs, lower lows. Are we going to get an embedded reading? Not yet. The day before this, if we take a look, both numbers were not under 20 either. So we have an oversold market, acts like it wants to accelerate, and if it does, it's possibly the 101 area. In the euro, will we get an embedded reading here? That's going to be the other question. And if it does, then the upper Bollinger Band can come into play. And the market that's had the embedded reading that has moved out beautifully to the upside is the British pound, which is now pushing the 124.05 area, still acting very, very good. Bitcoin, this is the last day for March Bitcoin that we'll cover. It goes off the board tomorrow, so I don't have to deal with it anymore. In Brent, look at how this market is just the difference between June Brent. Now I've moved to June and WTI. So in the June Brent, because now that goes off the board, the May, you don't want to trade that now. You got higher lows, higher highs, still definitively in the bull camp in this market. I still want you to trade the May WTI. That's where the volume and open interest is still. And look at higher lows, higher highs just marching away. Is it headed to the 74 area? Probably because our president didn't follow through and do what he promised to do. Made the promise, they instructed everybody to buy the oil when it was down here. They didn't buy any of it. In the gasoline market, I want the market to find support here and make another number that gives me higher lows that I can hang a hat on and start getting interested. However, would I tell my clients to buy an overbought market? If you think I would, you're very wrong. You don't realize what I do. I'll miss trades before I break my own rules. In the natural gas, you still have the embedded reading. You're still falling. Even today's injection was light. I mean, you're just not using a lot of natural gas at this time of the year, and that's to be expected. So as I keep telling you, I want you to join me. And how do you join me? Well, it's simple. You just go to our research area at iraepstein.com. That's the way to do it. Now, I record 2 videos. Typically now I start recording about 5:15 in the morning, my futures video. It takes me 15, 20 minutes to finish recording. And then about 10 minutes to 9 to 9:10. It's a 20-minute span for the stock one. I want the market to open the first 20 to 30 minutes in stocks. I like the money to get deployed. Why? It's not futures which trade 23 hours a day. That is the reason why, by the way. I know you'll tell me there's the aftermarket and they trade. It's not the same as the futures, not by any stretch of the imagination. You got to catch up with it. When you see a high-low close on a bar chart on stocks, the market ends at 3 o'clock. It restarts in the morning. You know that I'm right on this, at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30. They're not counting like they do in futures to trade 23 hours a day. That's why I wait. I want the money to get deployed properly into it, and then I want to come in. The charts clean themselves up. So if you like to learn all these tricks and what I do, you can either join me a month at a time, a year at a time. You do what you want. You can quit at any time. How do you do it? Go to iraepstein.com, go into the research center, become one of my members. And by the way, you can then write me. I will answer you. I'll create little recordings for you if you have different questions on markets. I'm not going to do it for you every single day, but I'm very, very liberal with my time for my people that join me. So that's where we're at. Again, iraepstein.com, research, or move your cursor up here, and you can do it that way. I'm Ira. You have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.